Gilgamesh was a powerful and influential figure in Mesopotamian history, and his story has been passed down through generations in the form of epic poems and texts. But for centuries, historians were split on whether or not Gilgamesh existed, and it was commonly considered that the Gilgamesh narrative was really a myth. But who knows? The truth is yet to come. In this video, we will tell you the hidden truth about the tomb of Gilgamesh. Subscribe to Unexplained History now and press the bell icon so you never miss any updates. Let's get into the video. Jorg Fassbinder and his team of archaeologists, using modern equipment to dig down into the earth, uncovered a complete old city under the desert that was remarkably built out just as the city of Uruk, over which Gilgamesh was said to have ruled, was portrayed in the story. Archaeologists referred to the site as Venice in the desert because of the presence of residences, gardens, and farms, as well as a highly sophisticated system of canals. Importantly, on the outside of the old city, archaeologists identified what seemed to be a burial place as the tomb of the ancient ruler. According to Fassbinder, I cannot confirm that it was Gilgamesh's tomb, but it resembles the one described in the epic. Then, though the unimaginable occurred, the United States attacked Iraq a few weeks after the tomb of Gilgamesh was uncovered, compelling Fassbinder and his colleagues to stop their work and evacuate the country. The mystery remained unresolved. Austen Henry Layard, an English historian and archaeologist, discovered a groundbreaking discovery among the remains of the Assyrian monarch inside Ashurbanipal's library in northern Iraq in 1849. He found a thousands-year-old clay tablet with strange writing that he couldn't decipher. 15,000 tablet pieces with the same strange lettering were also discovered by the early 1850s. These tablets were sent to the British Museum, where researchers spent decades deciphering them. In the 1870s, banknote engraver George Smith broke through. In 1866, museum staff hired George Smith. They proposed he begins translating with Austen Henry Layard's 15,000 pieces. Smith worked for years before the tablets revealed their words. Smith was surprised to discover an amazing narrative. The tablets recorded a flood that killed all mankind, save one man and his family. The British Prime Minister also attended Smith's 1872 presentation to the Society of Biblical Archaeology, where numerous experts and theologians said that this ancient flood tale verified the Bible's Noah story. Smith published comprehensive translations of his findings in 1875. He was interpreting the Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest epic ever written, without realizing it. Smith died at 36 in 1876. For decades and generations, even to this very day, scholars have continued Smith's work, translating more and more tablets, slowly revealing the full story of the epic. The Epic of Gilgamesh recounts the fascinating narrative of the ancient Mesopotamian ruler who ruled Iraq thousands of years ago. The gods created Enkidu to teach him a lesson about tyranny. After battling to a draw, neither better than the other, the two men become best friends and embark on a series of adventures detailed in the epic. After Enkidu dies, Gilgamesh searches for eternal life, again chronicled through the epic. Gilgamesh was 1/3 human and 2/3 celestial, born to a goddess and a man. He was 17 feet tall and possessed superhuman strength, endurance, and intellect. His 2003 tomb discovery was possibly earth-shattering. Imagine what archaeologists could discover if they could open his grave. Was Gilgamesh a giant and his tomb the 17-foot-tall skeleton? What records of Gilgamesh's totality of wisdom about all things may be buried with him if his tomb was opened? For 20 years, experts, historians, and ordinary people have disputed why the U.S. invaded Iraq. The country was not engaged in the 9/11 attacks, and the official government claim that Iraq and Saddam Hussein were harboring weapons of mass devastation was a falsehood. Can there be another reason? Was it a coincidence that the invasion began shortly after the tomb of Gilgamesh and its secrets were discovered? The U.S. military put up an encampment around Gilgamesh after invading the country. As they did, they expelled scientists and sent home media members, including ABC News and BBC figures. If the U.S. military opened Gilgamesh's tomb and took everything, including the king's corpse, what secrets were disclosed, and what happened to the items? The museum was unsecured for days after the U.S. forces took Baghdad. Many citizens broke into the building and stole tens of thousands of valuable items. The International Council on Monuments president called the U.S. military's neglect of the museum a crime against humanity. But the story only got worse. Many witnesses said that before looters stormed into the museum, special U.S. military forces entered and removed whole vaults of antiquities, loaded them into big trucks, and fled. After worldwide pressure, the U.S. government sent a CIA, FBI, and U.S. Immigration and Customs Services team to inspect the facility. Colonel Michael Bogdanos, a Marine officer, lawyer, and Columbia University classical studies graduate, commanded the group. Bogdanos and his crew were shocked. As they traveled deep into the museum's underground bowels, they found that someone else had gotten there first, and while some things were missing, the empty boxes and fake artifacts of the museum, stored alongside priceless works to deter thieves, were unharmed. Bogdanos understood. It was immediately clear that these thieves knew what they were looking for and where to look. The most valuable treasures and thousands of ancient gold and silver coins were left untouched by the robbers. If they knew what they were looking for, then what were they looking for? In the 1920s, weird reports flowed from Iraq to governments throughout the world concerning the discovery of an incomprehensible old technology. It was nicknamed as Stargate because users could teleport through it. Iraq was used to such rumors. The notion gradually lost popularity. In the 1980s, reports surfaced that Saddam Hussein had rediscovered the Stargate and began studying it to make it work. By the end of the 1990s, U.S. authorities were afraid that Saddam may be close to figuring out how the Stargate functioned, allowing him to instantly travel to distant areas and possibly contact extraterrestrials and obtain their superior extraterrestrial technologies. Dr. Michael Salla, an Australian historian and professor at American University in Washington, D.C., wrote an academic article immediately after the invasion of Iraq, arguing that possession of the Iraqi Stargate caused the war. Did an old Stargate ignite the Iraq War? Maybe it goes even further than that. In 1991, during the Gulf War, it was during this time that an astonishing report emerged in the Russian newspaper Pravda, describing an incident that would become known as Iraq's Roswell. A Russian colonel in Iraq saw the U.S. Air Force fire down a UFO, the report said. The colonel was shocked when he saw the crash scene. The aircraft was round and made of some material I never saw, he wrote. We saw appliances, structures, and other items that baffled us. It was a 15-foot diameter vessel. It featured 3 tiny crew seats. Space creatures appeared 3 feet tall. However, Saudi radar operators assured me that no ejection or dropping of people from the craft was registered. Where were the craft's pilots? Where was its engine? Could the Iraqis have found these items before Russian, Saudi, or American personnel arrived? In late 2002, a military source called an American radio station to confirm that Iraq had collected items from the crash site and was trying to reverse engineer the extraterrestrial technology. The caller said that the U.S. administration felt Saddam's scientists were near a breakthrough and must be stopped. The U.S. attacked Iraq months later. Is it possible that this was the true reason for the Iraq War? Regardless, there may be more to the U.S. invasion of Iraq than meets the eye. That's all for today. Make sure to like and subscribe our channel. Also share your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you.